Welcome to the Retail Learning and Development Awards 2022, brought to you by the Retailers Association of India. This is a part of Retail Learning and Development Summit 2022, the definitive platform that not only puts a spotlight on learning and development, but puts it most definitively as a platform, a tangible factor in achieving the aims and goals of any organization, very especially those in retail. We've received an overwhelming response to our Retail L&D Awards in both categories. The categories are Best Learning and Development Strategy and Learning Champ. The Best Learning and Development Strategy is an organizational level category that recognizes enterprise-wide success as a result of employee talent development. And the Learning Champ is an individual category that recognizes exceptional work done by dynamic individuals in the L&D functions that has made a significant impact to the organization. We'd like to welcome our jury, who have been here for the preliminary and the grand jury. A warm welcome to the Director, Talent Architects and Founder Trainers Forum, Mr. Arun Vishwanath. A warm welcome to HR Consultant, Ophelia DeRose.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. He is Strategic Advisor, Porter, Resferber Labs Private Limited. A warm welcome to Subir Ghosh. And Senior Director, Human Resources, Flame University, Pune. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Lancelot Kutina. And joining us today for our grand jury, we have the ex-head of HR, Shopper Stop Limited, Mr. B.V.M. Rao, and a retired and executive vice president and CHRO at Titan Company Limited, Mr. R. Raj Narayan. A very warm welcome to every one of our distinguished jury members who are here for the grand jury. We shall be presenting the finalists for both categories in the order that I will call them out. Just to reiterate, they have a total of 5 minutes to make their presentation. At the end of 4.5 minutes, Bhumika will give them a prompt and say 30 seconds to go. At the end of 5 minutes, okay, you will have to wind up your presentation.
Hugo, sir, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so we have one more special grand jury, that is Dr. Laurence, sir, Laurence Fernandez.
Okay. Joining us on our grand jury is Dr. Laurence Fernandez. He is the Director, Learning and Membership Development at the Retailers Association of India. Laurence, sir, a very warm welcome to you, and glad to have you this time at least in an on-screen role. Okay. Just to reiterate the rules, each team or individual gets exactly 5 minutes for his or her presentation, and at the end of 4 minutes 30 seconds, Bhumika will prompt them with 30 seconds to go. At the end of 5 minutes, teams will have to wind up their presentation. Okay, and I will then invite the jury to ask you questions for the next 3 minutes. Any questions from anybody? I think that's clear, right? Bhumika, are we switching the presentation off at the end of 5 minutes?
Yes, sir.
We are. Okay, fine. So you
can come in and tell them to stop.
Yeah, I'll tell you to stop, and the presentation will be switched off. So please make sure you stick to the time so that all your important material is covered. We've got a very tight schedule, and so that's why at the risk of being a little rude, we will be switching the presentations off, okay? But that's only in the interest of time constraints. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And as one of our jury said, may the best man or the best team or the best lady win. We begin with the Best Learning and Development Strategy, where we've got 5 teams. I invite our first team, Infinity Retail Limited, Chroma, to make their presentation. Infinity Retail, over to you.
Okay. Good morning, jury. Good morning, all the finalists which are there. Just give me a second till the time I share the screen.
Body has achieved a plateau, right? That is why this movement is not happening, right? And when you had first installed the application also, one of my colleagues had already spoken to you and she told you about.
Is the screen visible?
Robin, no. We can see your You can see a list of files.
Maybe it will
It's
take some
visible.
time because I have moved ahead.
calories are very calorie conscious. I understand.
Should I try again?
Maintaining your calories and very smartly you have started.
So stop sharing and then again try again.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Vegetables are there. At night you are having a meal, right? Which I think most of the time is of protein.
Now,
Okay, yes, that's right. We can see you clearly.
just a second. I'll just put the presentation.
Your potential, how many days?
Okay. Good morning, jury, and good morning, fellow finalists. My name is Robin, and along with Mandira, we represent Chroma. I'll be taking you through the L&D initiative that we partnered with the stakeholders and the solution that we came up for the organization. Right? Everyone was impacted by COVID, so were us. And what happened during pandemic and post-pandemic, and it is still continuing, is there were various lockdowns, state guidelines. We as Chroma, we believe that we are very strong in offline and in metros, and we expertise in providing the customer experience. But with this lockdown, there were low footfalls. People were not coming into the stores, obviously for obvious reasons of health and safety. And the home became an anchor for everyone, right? Now the challenge was, though we had chroma.com as a website, but the experience that we used to provide when the customer used to walk in, that became a challenge. So to providing an unmatched customer experience offline or online became a problem, but offline, we had mastered it. So that was the challenge, and the solution that we came up together as a business which came up was having a phygital store wherein a customer can log into chroma.com, click to shop to video, and the system virtually takes the customer sitting at home to the store. And this store, it's just 5 easy steps, connects to the store associate directly at the store, wherein the customer can experience, interact with the customer, interact with the CSS, get the queries resolved, get the demos and everything. The solution was there, but the problem, and to provide the customer experience, there were 3 things that we had to work on. One was people, getting the people in, and people were the most important part of it. Getting the processes aligned to the new phygital world that we had entered and having the product assortment accordingly. I'll focus on the people part because that is where we focused on and we play a very critical role. The 3 elements that we worked on was the recruit, train, and develop. We had the entire JDs and the competencies redefined, the entire hiring process was redefined, that what are the type of people that we are looking into, because this was not just the sales associate now that we had to look into, because now it was a mix of something like a contact center and CDIT sales background. We did a 21-day extensive boot camp for all the new joinees. It was a comprehensive product knowledge that we had to give them, because online they can't ask for any support like what they used to do it during the stores, that they can seek help. But when you are on video, on call with the customer, you can't put the customer on hold and ask for some other information. Along with this, as a sales associate, they were also trained into cashiering. They were also trained into customer service. So there was a multi-role training rather than just about sales and sales. Also about technologies, managing different platforms, communication skills. When you are on audio, when you are on video, played a very critical role. Your body language, listening skills, everything was important. Along with that came in how to handle the devices. So they connect with iPads, where to hold the iPad, how to hold the iPad. Demonstrations through iPad about the products were critical. We had a continuous learning journey with certification, partnered with brand, created category experts, and also moved into cross-skilling of the store associates. Moving ahead, the processes, all the processes were personalized to the customer and for the customer experience. Privacy and trust was important, and all the processes had to be scalable. We had a very curated inventory to the stores. We couldn't go wrong over there. We defined the visual merchandising. I'll also give you one glimpse how it was, and the availability of the products was very critical. So if you see over here, these were the kind of the wedges that we created for washing machines, because from this iPad, if the associate has to show the washing machine, if it is kept straight, it would not be possible for them to give a demo. So everything was created. There were mock calls which were done, and we also had these products which were placed inside the refrigerator to give a real life look and feel to the customers who are sitting at the home. Overall impact, the NPS is fantastic at 96. Conversions, we were targeting at 10. First time call conversion is at 14.
30 seconds to go.
Overall conversions at 30. Growth is 20% that is coming from non-Chroma stores and expansion of digital footprints. These are the few voice of customers that we have. Overall trend that we have for the month of November and December. And as I said, now it is not just about connecting customers from Chroma.com. We have also trained all the stores in 200 odd stores that we have, wherein if a particular product is not available in that store, the store connects to store at home and the customers can have a view at what is the product which is kept. Way forward is larger store, appointment-based shopping, experiential zones that we'll be creating, brand zones, and 24/7. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin. And it's over to our jury for their questions to Robin and the team.
Robin, you said that there is a growth in the overall sales because of this particular initiative.
Yeah.
Which categories did it go well? Is it because the mobiles or is it the laptops? Because that is certainly the demand was pretty high during that time. Or is it the other appliances?
Yeah. So we started with two broad categories that we divided into home and digital. So home was the first that we started with. Home comprises of washing machines, refrigerators, ACs and all. When we started off, ACs took pretty well. The 40% of conversion used to happen in air conditioning. The certain categories that moved well for us initially and also now are dishwashers, which otherwise in stores also never used to sell. But with this pandemic, dishwashers, washing machines, air conditioners, microwave ovens, robotic vacuum cleaners. So these were the categories which moved initially. But yes, now when we are more stabilized, communication or mobiles is one of the categories which gets most of the calls that we have, followed by computers. So, and it's also about seasonality. So right now it's also that we get calls is about geysers, room heaters and all those. But primarily 40% of the calls are from mobile category.
Okay.
Robin, I'm very impressed for the fact that you achieved an NPS of 96.
Yeah.
Tell me what is the highest NPS you can get in an organization?
See, Chroma, as in Chroma offline, we have an NPS wherein the knowledge of the staff and helpfulness of the staff, we had a target of 65. We have achieved 72 this year as of now. Overall organizational target was 60. We are at 62. So that's what Chroma is, and we expertise in giving experiential experience to the customer when they walk into the stores. And the same thing that we wanted to follow in this store at home also. And it's amazing, but it's difficult to sustain. I think with the call volumes when they go up and with the churn of the staff coming up, it will be difficult to maintain. Our target was never to be as 96. We had aimed at around 70, but currently we are managing at 76. It is overwhelming, but I understand and it's difficult to maintain.
So what have you done to achieve a 96? I mean, I know you can, what exactly, let me be more specific.
Yeah.
What kind of customer service training have you done for those who don't have a direct interface with the customer?
See, there are 2 or 3 things that we have done. One is we have not picked up people who are only from sales. What we have picked up is people who have a service orientation. And that's what I told you, that the recruitment process was redefined, because sales anybody can do. But when you are connecting with a customer over a call, you need to be customer focused and you need to be customer oriented. So that was one of the traits that was like a must have in that person. Second is the overall training that we have for 21 days. And we have a process that we call this as a guest process, right from greet till thanking the customer. And this is embedded in each and every associate for all the days. Till the time they don't, and there's a very stringent certification process that we have. Until the time they don't certify in that process, they are not put on the call. So we also have people who have been on recruited, completed the training, but for 14 days, they were not allocated in any calls because they were not following the process, and there were gaps that we could see. So the training process and the hiring process, I think hiring is key, and then is training, because if you don't have that trait, you can't build in that trait in somebody. I think that has led to whatever we are currently.
Thank you, Robin.
Robin, I have another question.
Sure.
You have a model where you have the brand staff as well as your own staff.
Yeah.
Generally, in most of this digital retail stores,
Correct.
we have more of the brand staff.
Correct.
So how did you are saying that you actually done this entire program for your own staff or for the brand staff also?
Yeah. So that's a very good question, and a person from a CDIT background can understand that. Yeah. So that's what I said, that entire comprehensive training wherein you need to be master and expert in that product category. So we have done it only for Chroma. We don't have any brand staff. The support that we have from brand is the trainers, they come either digitally or in the stores and they do the brand training. Otherwise, it's all Chroma stuff. And the program is, we have 4 levels of certification, wherein level 1 to level 4. Wherein a person becomes expert in a particular product, then in that category. Level 2, level 3 is a cross-functional category, like for mobiles to a laptop, and level 4 is wherein the person is a complete expert in. So we have that level of certification, which is also built in, which is also like a career progression for each and every year. To answer your question, it is all Chroma stuff and a very comprehensive. Along with that, we also have trainers which are only based at that store and training only for that store. Otherwise, for our offline stores, we have 1 trainer mapped to 10 to 12 stores. But for this, we have 2 trainers who are just for store at home and doing the trainings day in and day out. How many people have been trained? Sorry? How many people total got trained? 40. 40. We are also expanding. Currently, we have a store, but we are looking for the entire expansion phase, wherein the stores, we are looking for a manpower of about 60 in 1 store and a store size of about 40,000 square feet. Okay. So you are going to scale this particular model across? Yeah. Because this is working for us. And just with 1 store, we are actually connecting with 225 stores of Chroma. So any person anywhere who has a challenge, if some of the inventory is not available in that store, because all the stores are not big stores that we have, there are challenges in the sizes of the store, and also then comes the inventory. We can't have everything placed in the store. With this store, all the key inventories, all the top 20 in all the categories are placed. So anybody as a customer who walks into a store like a small church kit store and which does not have all the inventory, they can connect to store at home and the customer can view any product that they want. So that is helping us. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much to our jury, and thank you, Robin, for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you so
we
much.
move on to our next team, that is Reliance Digital. Reliance Digital, it's over to you.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Kavita.
Wonderful. Lovely morning to everyone. I'm delighted to talk to you about the L&D Team Development Initiative at Reliance Digital. Reliance Digital reaches over 10 million customers every month with our presence in 750 plus towns. Needless to say, we are India's most preferred and largest CDIT retail store. What was the challenge? Now, trainers are part of an increasingly complex ecosystem. The biggest challenge for our trainers is catering to diverse resource groups, comprising of over 31,000 employees. Now, these are frontliners, the contact center employees, the corporate, the e-com office. Now, this is every single day. As you would appreciate, technology as a category is forever evolving. And every day a new product sees the light of the day. Every day consumers aspire to simplify their lives with gadgets. Now here we do understand the need to sharpen our skills. To become Dronacharyas, we have to be Ekavyas first. Hinged on the fact that it is never too late to learn or unlearn or even relearn. So the goal was to participate and contribute in this rise and the shine of our trainers' journey of becoming a world-class, talented L&D professional. Hence, the objective is to help them stay relevant, partner with business needs, help them to enhance their capability and effectiveness. Let me tell you how we did this, how we facilitated this. Learning is not an event, it's a journey. We anchored 3 big initiatives spread through the year: Trainer Certification Program, Gadget Learning Week, and Hook to Learn, a learning forum. Trainer Certification Program was designed by creating an intensive and immersive learning journey for our trainers. This was comprised of courses from LinkedIn Learning and Coursera, and also a train-the-trainer program. Now, this ensured our trainers are fully enabled to understand the entire L&D life cycle in an organization: the why, the what, and the how, all of it. 100% of our trainers are trained, are certified. They are now equipped to handle any business ask and implement best-in-class programs in their clusters, in their states, and their region. Second was the Gadget Week learning. You would know that in our business is extremely critical to stay on top of what's happening in technology world. During non-training weeks, we invited brands to take classes for our trainers. Here, the focus is on product and functional knowledge. This is supplemented with regular Train the Trainer certification program, again facilitated by brand support with brands. Now we are tech lovers, so our trainers enthusiastically participated and to maximize this opportunity. Third, we launched a learning forum called Hook to Learn. Here, every month, an e-magazine gets published on the L&D trends, research contributed by the community itself. Every month, a trainer is coached and mentored to facilitate a knowledge sharing session to the community. And lastly, every month, there's rewards and recognition that is announced to celebrate their achievements. So how did our learners respond? We have great respect for all the efforts that the team has been putting into their practice and developing their expertise. They stayed on course, committed to the process. This has resulted in team responding astonishingly during pressing times. They've demonstrated growth mindset, increased their credibility and personal effectiveness while delivering the programs. They're out there on the ground implementing all that they have learned and understood through this learning journey. What are the 3 major insights that we can glean out of this data that is out there? 1, clearly, increase in trainers' effectiveness, trainers' performance, as seen in NPS score going up by 17%, of trainers' feedback going up by
30 seconds left.
Yeah, and knowledge retention score really going up by 20%. Our team is now more confident. They have visibility on the influence on business results. And lastly, it's not 1 or 2 person's effort. The entire team has come collectively to, to demonstrate this impact. And most important thing that has just come out is that the VOA score tells us that 92% of our L&D community tells us that they have learning opportunities in the organization. The story doesn't end here. We continue the engagement through mentoring and learning intervention. We've also launched a multi-skilling programs where our trainers are not only trained for delivery, but also for content creation and program management. There's a continuous connect every month to support their learning journey, and most importantly, to tell them that we care. Thank you so much. This is some of the programs that we have done, the knowledge sharing programs. These are the magazine covers for you, and we are the learners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kavita. It's over to our jury to question Kavita.
Kavita, this trainer certification is done for what profile of people? For whom have you done this?
This is for our trainers.
This for
All
your
our
trainers.
trainers who are, yes,
So how many trainers across India?
we have 99 trainers. We are a team of 99 people, which includes trainers and content team.
No, why is that it's not been shared with the store managers? Why not the certification being done for the store managers who are managing the stores?
This particular trainer certification program that we have assigned to our trainers is the becoming an L&D professional. So the programs that we've identified is helps them to become an L&D professional.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also have.
But how sustainable it is? Don't you think that the knowledge is with the store managers certification? I think it is more sustainable because they'll be able to impart the education much faster.
Right. We have a certification program. We have courses assigned to our store managers, which is a separate program altogether. This was
sure.
For our trainer community.
Cool, thanks.
Anybody else?
No questions, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much to our jury. Thank you, Kavita of Reliance Digital, for that wonderful presentation. Coming up next, we have our next team, Marks and Spencer Reliance India Private Limited. Marks and Spencer? Smita?
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Just while I just share my screen. I believe everybody can see it.
Yes, we can.
And hear me. Thank you so much. Yeah, so very quickly, it's a privilege to be presenting over here. I think we've already heard some great, aspects of how learning and development has evolved. So learning and development at Marks and Spencer at India also relies on the standard philosophy of any good strategy, which needs to have a clear vision, which needs to understand what is the purpose that we're really enabling at and enabling our people. So even at Marks and Spencer, our vision is to become the #1 international retailer in India, where we are able to make the everyday remarkable for our colleagues and our customers, and at the same time ensuring that our colleagues are always able to bring their best to work. With any learning strategy, we believe that the last year has also, there's been an immense focus on the fact about the talent for the future. We've all seen the past few years have been extremely volatile, unpredictable, and even with a vision for hello? Was there a...
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Sorry, okay. So I think the idea of a learning strategy to have been very solid was to ensure that we were aligned with a business strategy. Now, when we talk of business, retail, and everywhere in the world, there was a lot of volatility, a lot of ambiguity. So it was extremely essential that for an organization strategy or anything to be successful, there needed to be clear direction, very constant communication. Were people aligned in terms of what is it that's expected? Do they understand what is to be done? And finally, how do we really gain commitment when it comes to ensuring that people can walk with you and achieve what is to be required? Like any solid learning and development strategy, we understood and we continued to emphasize on the fact that 70% of learning comes through experience, 20% through exposure, and 10% through the kind of interventions that we can have at a classroom level, which therefore means that we have engaged teams who would put in some discretionary effort in terms of what is it that they can do for the organization. We continue to deliver on a high performance culture where learning organizations, and there are learning champions, peer-to-peer learning that is emphasized across the organization, and productivity and efficiency is also at its optimum. A very important aspect of last year's strategy was the fact that technology became an extremely important catalyst. With virtual learning and for retail, hybrid learning became a lot more important. I think the advantage that it brought for retail was also on the fact that geographical boundaries moved away. We could bring in experts who could talk to when it came to new stores or wherever. Training could be imparted by anybody. We were able to create learning champions using technology as a catalyst. So coming back to what the core of our strategy at Marks and Spencer was, that our endeavor was to ensure that learning was always within the flow of work. With the emphasis of the 70-20-10 principle, we did various aspects which catered to ensuring that learning was available to our employees at any point of their life cycle, be it through robust onboarding programs, where we said, how can we make it hybrid? How can we make it self-paced to a large extent? How can we ensure that we enable our store managers, our store coaches to ensure that people, when we opened stores, were enabled in the right way? At the same time, the customer mindset on the floor was evolving very, very rapidly. How do we ensure that our people continue to be reskilled and upskilled to cater to this new customer? Being in this fashion industry, it was important. Fitting rooms were closed. How did we ensure that we can continue to recommend products by, we had something called Fit for Sight that became a large part of the way we gave customer service to people. So the way we enabled our entire customer journey went through a robust shift. And along with the fact that virtual training, our leader interactions continued to be enhanced. In fact, last year was the first year we actually launched a first digital store in Bombay. So how did we...
left.
Sure. So I think we were able to continuously evaluate our people and kind of give them the necessary training. So like we said, onboarding, cross-functional collaboration, continuous learning when it came to understanding people manager skills, etc., continued to be of immense focus for our people as we kind of continuously gave them training. How did we see this impact? I think learning effectiveness was seen very clearly in the way that we saw our engagement scores increase because of the way we continue to engage with people. In a year that attrition was very high, we saw reduced attrition. Our business metrics continue to remain consistent or even did better in some areas. We were able to see multiple movements, etc., to trial and pipeline. And we saw lots of industry recognition as well when it came to kind of seeing how learning continues to be a partner in this, in the business strategy. So I think I would kind of open this up for questions because there has been a lot and I'd be happy to answer any specific questions.
Thank you very much, Smitha. And it's over to our jury.
Hi, Smitha. Quick question.
Yes.
How did it pan out from a customer perspective?
So,
all of this that we did, right?
Yes.
How did that translate into increase or decrease in customer feedback, NPS, or whichever way you measured it? Yeah.
Sure, thank you. So for us, I think for us, it was the first step was to understand how the customer mindset had shifted. And yes, we did a lot of work in ensuring that our customer journey and the way we enabled our people on the floor continued to evolve. Our customer satisfaction scores, or VOC, that we do has remained consistent. Yes, we've had pre-pandemic level consistency, as well as we've grown in certain months by about 2 or 3%. So our customer service CSAT scores range at about 94 to 97% from a customer satisfaction standpoint. Additionally, we've also become an omni-channel retailer in the recent times. Our website was something that got launched only in 2020. So we've seen a significant increase of customers that are also shopping through the online channel, and we're getting some great feedback over there as well. Additionally, we've launched various innovative aspects in terms of assisted shopping, etc., where our people have been able to convert a lot more customers. So that's where I would say that our conversion percentages have increased in the stores, as well as through our customer service reps. So pre-pandemic levels, we were ranging between 12 to 15%. Now we range at about 18% in terms of conversion. I hope I was able to answer.
Yes, you were. One other question is, while you've talked about the overall strategy and you've talked about multiple things in that,
yes,
if you were to pick the top three from an initiatives point of view that have the biggest impact, what would they be?
Sure. If I have to pick up, I think the fact that we were able to give on-the-go training, self-paced learning to our people through at the time of onboarding, at the time of making sure that we were able to upskill people at a time when things were so volatile. I think the confidence that they were able to engage with our customers, I think the entire customer service journey is one thing that I would like to pick up. The other thing might not be encompassing too many people in the organization, but we were able to deliver on something called MNS Spark, which is our high potential program that has received great feedback for us within the organization at a time when we know that engagement and retention has been critical. That's one other program that we've had a lot of impact on. And the third thing that I would definitely like to talk about was an initiative called the MNS Talent Gig that we did for our organization last year, when we've seen some teams during lockdown, which were under lesser work pressure, and some teams got a lot of work pressure when it came to supply chain and e-commerce teams. We were able to internally redeploy some of our people from stores and other places to our other teams, which ensured there was a breadth of experience that was being given to people, appreciation of other aspects of roles, where we felt, when I talk about 70% experiential learning, I think the MNS Talent Gig was a fantastic intervention that we were able to give to our people to understand different aspects of the business. And at any point of time, we've had about 60 plus people who've been in supporting different aspects of the business. So I think Talent Gig is something that I would definitely like to really call out in addition to the other two.
Smita, I have a quick question.
Yes.
You showed the 70-20-10 rule.
Yes.
You know, what I've seen from my experience is most of the organizations do exactly the opposite. Are your programs, adhering to this model? I mean, most of them are experiential, and your classroom training is the least, or what is it? What is it do you really practice?
Sure, I think you called it out very aptly. And I think even from a mindset of an employee, till I'm given training, I don't feel I'm really learning. So I think we've got immense amount of leadership sponsorship over here. And we also, yes, we do training programs in the classroom. Is it absolutely 70-20-10? No, but I would still say the ratio would still be where we are saying, how can we give the maximum amount of experiential learning? During the pandemic, I will say my classroom interventions have also reduced, because the kind of learning bites that we have to start to give to people now is also reduced, because the attention span of people sitting in a classroom where you need to pull out people to come and learn is also there's a lot of digital fatigue that's happening. So how is it that we have created learning champions? We've built up a lot of training, I wouldn't say training, platforms of learning. So for example, when we launched 2 big lines last year in terms of Fusion and Occasion Wear that we did interactive sessions where the buying teams came, they talked about the product. We had our store associates come and model the products for them versus doing a training session. So the exposure to understanding more about the product in a fun way. So yes, we have moved significantly towards even on ground to saying that our classroom versus workshop interventions are starting to reduce, but it will never go away, because for me as an individual, I feel invested even today when I get that formal training in the form of a classroom. So I wouldn't really take that away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to our jury. Thank you, Smita, for that presentation. We move on to our next team, our fourth team in the Best Learning and Development Strategy category. That's Reliance Retail Limited.
Yeah, good morning to the jury members, the distinguished HR leaders and my colleagues. I am representing Reliance Retail. It's an honor to be representing Reliance Retail and presenting to you our L&D strategy. I'll quickly share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, we can now see a screen.
All right. Um, so, so at Reliance Retail, as we continue to build aggressive business strategies in order to fuel exponential growth trajectories, the focus on building a strong and highly capable talent pipeline has been a continuous focus area for us. The buying and merchandising function is one of the core business unit in the retail world and is also an aspirational career destination for many retail professionals. As the world is changing rapidly and there has been a considerable shift in the skills and capability requirements to drive business performance, the future of work demands a fungible and domain agnostic talent pipeline. However, as we dive deeper into the business expectations, taking account of some of the business challenges or other opportunities, as we may say, like unavailability of ready now talent, coupled with limited career growth opportunity within business categories, concern over quality and quantity of resources, shift from traditional source approach of buy to unconventional build approach, etc. And of course, and also the available of a strong talent data bank, as a potential employees for us. Now, the expected outcomes to these opportunity areas were to build an adaptable and ready talent pipeline by enabling self-sustaining talent mobility internally as well as externally for potential employees. And that, of course, requires a fungibility in the skills and capability requirements across job roles. So at Reliance Retail Talent Development, as Reliance Retail Talent Development team, we conceptualized a capability development framework that was intended to address the given business expectation. We are the largest talent marketplace in the country, and therefore building a robust talent mobility process has been always a competitive advantage, business advantage for us. We therefore introduced these structured development interventions in the buying and merchandising business. Yeah, and I will of course take you through this in the later slides briefly. What I'm really excited to talk to you about this is the design framework that we had institutionalized as a part of our functional capability academy. We began by establishing a capability model for the B&M business by conducting multiple rounds of job analysis and task inventory analysis interviews with the unique job roles, followed by knowledge skill dimensioning, and then of course finally mapping capabilities to these dimensions. This was a very intensive exercise with a lot of business partnering, leadership alignment, and of course consulting that went into while building this model. Now, based on this model, we were able to build specific learning solutions across levels, coupled with a robust assessment and certification process. The entire development intervention was democratized and focused on being learner-centric. Yeah, the internal marketplace was conceptualized, if you can see it on the right-hand side of the screen. This was to enable career transitions across categories. This entire exercise has been enabled in shifting the ownership of learning into the learner, enabling him or her to take charge of one's own career at Reliance Retail. So basis this framework, what we had introduced was this 4 different approaches of talent development for the buying and merchandising function. The first approach was the Cabm certification, or the Certified Associate in Buying and Merchandising. This is a certification process which is for the entry-level existing B&M professionals. We have already started this. So the first batch is scheduled to complete by February 2022. The second approach is one of the what we call it revolutionary development intervention that we have been introduced was cross-spring. Now, the program cross-spring has been conceptualized in order to enable cross-functional career transition into buying and merchandising business. There were 41 learners who actually got selected in our first batch, which we launched last
30
quarter.
seconds left.
Yeah, intense pre-selection process, and they are currently on the training and on the training plan. And then we have the management trainees and the external talent marketplace that we have already introduced. The development model looks like this. We are having a program which is a blend of master classes, self-directed learnings, cohort learnings, assignments, assessments and certifications. Yeah, and of course, the program Success Factors is about enabling talent mobility by building full stack fungible talent, building capable and productive resources internally in order to drive the exponential growth strategies, and of course, liberating talent to create various career opportunities into cross-functional teams. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you for your time.
Excellent presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I have two questions to ask. Who partnered you in doing this humongous work? Which agency from outside partnered you?
So this was done internally altogether. So for all the development initiatives, we have partnered with some external agencies in terms of trainings, in terms of those capability-based trainings that we had identified. But this entire process was done internally in partnership with the business leaders, with the B&M business leaders. Yeah.
Okay, and this session that we have, or this award, is for the last 6 to 8 months. How has your initiative impacted the business?
The initiative has been impacting in terms of building a lot of cross-functional discussions and pollination which is happening. So I'll take the example of Cross Spring program. It is a program which is the participants are from various different businesses like operations, finance, marketing. So these sessions, and of course the cohort learnings and idea groups that are coming up is actually helping the business in terms of building a right cohesive driving those business outcomes.
So you're saying that it's in the pipeline. You haven't seen outcomes in terms of revenues or retention of your NPS scores. No outcome is being seen with this initiative.
Yeah, so this intervention we have started last quarter. Yeah, and while we are actually driving these learning sessions and all, this is scheduled to get over by February this year. Yeah, February, the first batch would get over by February, and then of course consequently there are other batches which are also getting over. And of course, we are in the process of building those business outcomes and tracking those and sharing with the business. As of now, of course, in terms of this the assessments, in terms of the participations, we are tracking continuously, and we are sharing these dashboards to the business, and we are getting those alignments with the business. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful initiative.
Thank you so much.
One particular question. Feb, how many numbers are supposed to be?
So the first batch that we started for grocery, our B2B grocery business. So there were 68 people who had actually registered for this program from the grocery merchandising business, and these were all from entry level, assistant buyer level employees. So there are 68 of them who are currently in the last phase, which is the action learning projects, so which they are actually coming up with, and then there would be there are plans to have leadership panel presentations which are scheduled in early February, and basis those presentations, these people would be successfully capability certified.
Okay, thanks, sir. That's all from us.
Thank you. I think you are on mute, Raj. Yeah.
Well, that's all from us.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much to our jury. And thank you very much to Mr. Datta.
Hello.
Thank you.
Mr. Raj.
Yeah, I had a question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Just trying to ask the question. I'm going to be a little provocative here. See, it's a very good initiative. I'm sure it is much needed by the business and it will have impact. But then if I look at many organizations, especially large ones like yours, many of them have similar initiatives. Okay, it's not something, I don't see anything innovative in this. I mean, I was looking for what was that something which was very different and innovative in what you're doing as compared to what I've heard from other organizations, in the past. I mean, some have done this some years ago, some have done this in the recent past, and especially with the digital element of it, in the last 2 years, you've seen lots of it happening, right? So, what is it that is innovative here? What is it that is different?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Raj. So what we did here differently was we actually, worked on a capability framework, which was very, very targeted towards the job roles. So the capability framework that we had actually institutionalized was something which was very different. Capabilities are something which are, which are very new and which are the future for learning. So the capability framework that we had established across the businesses of Reliance Retail was something that was something which was we think that it was something which was very different, and so how we are able to actually build those learning solutions based on those capabilities, those level-based capabilities that we had institutionalized. So that was what I believe is something different which we had done at Reliance Retail.
Okay, thank you very much to our jury, and thank you, Mr. Raktan Datta.
Thank you so much.
We now move to our final team in the Best Learning and Development Strategy. This will be United Colors of Benetton, India. Ankita?
Thank you, Hugo. So just give me a moment while we present. So good morning to everybody. Good morning to the jury, and privileged to be here. So it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. This quote of Charles Dickens holds true more now than ever. So at Benetton, 2021 was the year of change too, as we calibrated the learning interventions by continuously designing learning that was faster, relevant, and catered to the evolving needs. So before getting into the details of 2021, a very quick macro understanding of our learning strategy. So we follow an inverted learning pyramid that puts more focus on employees at the front line. So our brand ambassadors, we empower them and they directly add value to the customer's experience. Benetton University is our learning structure and our philosophy that is divided into 4 broad segments. Benvenuto, which is our induction program, School of Retail, Benetton School of Leadership, and Hypo Development. So all that we do in the entire year, our yearly training calendar, our learning design for the year is made keeping in view the structure. So the learning programs are classified into 3 main heads. Core, which are the elementary courses. Ladder are the capability development courses, which upskills people to move up the ladder and hone necessary skills. And Assessment Academy, which caters to the top talent. These are customized learning programs, which takes into account the 3 E's: experience, exposure, and education. Over to Shruti.
Thanks, Ankita. So when we talk about new normal, I believe we all can agree that a lot has changed in this new normal. And working in hybrid world has a lot of challenges. According to a recent study of learning and development of 2021, in general, people are very exhausted, overworked, and they are too busy to learn. And sense of team and disengagement is rising. And although we are digital, but yet it has been said that it cannot replicate the exact feeling and experience just like a classroom learning. The need of our was to understand and reinvent and redesign our digital offerings. We start focusing more on, and we keep delivering more digital instructor-led training. We design bite-sized content and more interactive content as well for anytime and anywhere learning. To facilitate anytime, anywhere learning, we launched our own, we take pride in saying that at Benetton India, we launched our first learning management system, and we are the first movers to adopt this learning. And now we can engage and connect almost every person, last man standing at our stores. Right from business initiative, launching business initiative, virtual contest, also video-based contest, leaderboard, everything in gamified bite-sized module is being running across 2,500 plus employees with just a snap of fingers. And this is happening. This includes our franchisee stores too.
So in 2021, we calibrated and sharpened our LMS by offering more modules, which led to active engagement on the platform. So we did not push learning. We made people accountable, and they could see that themselves in the leaderboards of where they stand with respect to the others, which made them also, feel important that, okay, I need to learn and I need to be there too. So we partnered with MindTickle, which is our learning partner. And I'm proud to state that we were the first retail partners So they have evolved with us too, and the system is now more robust, which caters to more retail requirements. In fact, the biggest testimony of the fact that Benetton is strategically aligned to business is that we see a direct correlation between learning and performance. Not only learning is a continuous process here at Benetton, more than 60% employees score flying colors, and these are those people who earn 30% more incentives in 2021 than the rest. So yes, a direct correlation between performance and so the top learners are also the top performers. So yes, we have been doing the right things. We will continue to do the right things in a much better way for sure. Here are some testimonials from our happy learners. Again, NPS definitely we measure, but we place more importance to business outcomes than NPS because that's just a measure of our internal score. So yes, business outcomes is a greater testimony.
30 seconds.
Yes. So yes, learning development is a continuous journey and our journey will continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Shruti and Ankita of United Colors of Benetton. It's over to our jury.
Ankita, lovely initiatives at Benetton, lots of them. Help us understand which of these initiatives have really brought you a lot of returns on investment.
I would say self-paced learning is something that has helped us I would achieve, because what we do is we empower store managers. So the content is readily available to them in our LMS. And what they do is in their huddles, in their team huddles, which they do every day, they kind of reinforce these learnings within their teams too. So I believe because learning is happening every day, so they kind of, so if there's a product that needs to be displayed, so if there's an ensemble that has to be made, which is to be shown to the customers, so what they do is they even do fashion shows, they wear it within the teams, they kind of, they have the entire content available to them at their display, they refer to the content, which is something that we have posted already. So it's anytime, anywhere learning. Again, as it is app-based, it is very useful for them. They just, at the snap of their finger, they get whatever they want. So every store manager is, I would say not just store managers, but even every person who wants to be a learning champ in the store has the ability to be able to, I would say be a learning champion for the entire store. So which of course is also a fact. Like for example, we also had a SOP for COVID. So what they should be doing during the COVID times. So yes, because the SOP content is there in the LMS, they review that content regularly, and that's why they're able to cater to the customers in a better way.
Is there a value that you have looked of your organization and implemented it to the core in the COVID times?
If you could just repeat that question once more, value.
So Benetton has values,
yes.
And which is one value that you have looked at in this COVID time and taken it right up to the...
I think that's a very good question. Thank you for that. So I think value for people is something, it's a core value of Benetton. I think COVID more than ever has taught us the value for people, not just our own people, but also customers. So we understand their needs, their requirements. So again, I'll give you an example here that because customers couldn't come to shop, all the store people, made an extra attempt to call them. They had a WhatsApp. They used to send them WhatsApp pictures, go to their home, do home deliveries. So I believe value for people is something that basically was at the top notch at 2021 for us.
So that's what have you done for employees?
I think there are a variety of, again, value for people. I'll just give two examples here again. So there were two programs. We did an BBA in retail again with interns. So Rai was there, which is a partner to that. So few of our, so we launched this initiative wherein the retail employees were given a chance to enhance their education too. So that we understood that the need of the hour is to upskill themselves. And a lot of our employees have shown interest and they are also pursuing further education this year. In fact, we've also initiated an online digital library. So wherein every person again can upskill themselves, again at their own pace, they can learn, they can read. Books come at the convenience of their home. So they can read, they can order, read it, return it back. So I think these are some of the things that are coming to my mind at this point. But I think the entire year focus is always on people in whatever we do.
Great, Ankita. All the best and continue to do your good work.
Yeah. Ankita, one question. Have you measured the impact on business? Somewhere in your system, you must have measured.
So I think even with 40% less footfall, our growth was at 120% at the beginning of the year. So I think that is definitely a measure of business that I could state at this point.
No. Which period are you measuring this? Beginning of the means, after the pandemic, the sales, during the pandemic, the sales.
I would actually say this was majorly towards the beginning of the year is when everything else came into picture, when we saw that people were engaged and they kind of could show that growth.
You also mentioned your top performers or your top learners or your top performers.
Yes.
So is it a mandatory program for everybody or is it optional?
No, actually, we measured a correlation between the learners so we understood that fact that who are the ones who got maximum incentives in the entire retail fraternity. We realized that people who are spending more than average time in the learning app are the ones who are actually earning more incentives, which is basically 30% more than the rest of the population.
Okay.
I've got 2 questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah. One is this initiative only in Benetton, India, or is it across UCB?
This is Benetton India in particular.
It is. It's not something run internationally.
No, sir.
Second was which platform have you used? I mean, there are lots of interesting platforms that have come in over the last 2 years.
Yes, I think our LMS partner is MindTickle. We have partnered with them. MindTickle, that's our partner in LMS. In fact, as I mentioned during the presentation also, we were the first retail partner of MindTickle, and they also started their journey with us. And since then, I think they have become more robust, and we have also learned along the way of how to make it better.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah, good initiative.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Ankita and Shruti of Team United Colors of Benetton. Thank you very much to our jury. With that, we come to the end of the Best Learning and Development Strategy category, and we move on to our individual category, which is Learning Champs. Okay, just reminding the jury, we've got 3 to 4 minutes max for your questions, and we'll move to our first participant in the Learning Champ category, Arpita Mishra, Skechers South Asia Private Limited. Arpita, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's just afternoon. My name is Arpita Mishra. I'm representing Skechers brand. And firstly, I'm very privileged to present on this platform in front of such great achievers. Can you see my screen? Is my screen visible?
Yes, Arpita.
Okay. So in today's presentation, we'll be discussing about my training coverage, the training evaluation process, in-store training session, the content designing part, session plans of upcoming season, and the employee engagement activities. So I'm a regional trainer at Skechers, and we have just crossed the cocoon stage, and we are, learning to fly. So in my, I take care of these regions. In Central, I take care of 22 EBO stores, Rajasthan 16, Uttarakhand 4, UP, I have 21 stores, and I'm also based out of UP. In East, we have 27 stores. So apart from these 90 EBO stores, I also take care of MBO and distribution. We also conduct trainings and learning activities for MBO and distribution channel. So as far as my training coverage is concerned, and you all know that Skechers is a very growing brand, and in 2021, we opened many new doors. I've conducted induction training for 35 stores with 115 participants, and we handholded all these participants, including the new joiners, for good 6 months. So we have a proper induction plan for them. Apart from me, I also have 2 more colleagues in my department. And from past 2 seasons, we got an opportunity to plan, organize, and conduct seasonal product training for pan-India level, including your EBO and MBO channels. And it was not just restricted to your CSAs. We also got an opportunity to train our, higher level employees in our organization. After every training, seasonal training, we also conduct recap training sessions at our stores. There are more classroom trainings. And because of this pandemic, we also got a good hold on virtual training platforms. All our trainings, whether it's an induction training or it's a seasonal training, it's always followed by our assessment process. So whosoever comes under the bracket of 85%, we create a pool of those employees and we conduct recap training sessions for them. So most of the time, the bracket of above 85% is more than 80%. So this is a whole training evaluation process. We all know that training are not just classroom bound, and in this pandemic time, we have somewhere lost the touch. So whenever we got an opportunity, we always do store visits and we conduct activities, because I think as HRs or as L&D people, we are like the mothers, and our CSAs are like children. They want proper care and time to time attention from us. So we make sure that as mothers, we reach out to every possible method to make our learning more, to make our children learn and to be a better version of themselves with any of the activities, whether it's role play, product description rounds, is normal games or fun in which we can include the whole team together. We also have a concept of training onset and Skechers. It's basically a health checkup of learning. So whenever we do a store visit, we randomly pick a product or a situation and we ask our employees, our CSAs, to give us training on that situation or on that product. So basically we just turn the table around and it's just the teach the trainer concept over there. So they give us the training about that product or about that situation. And by that we check it's the health checkup of training basically. So apart from trainings, we also follow the old school method of revision. We design these capsule modules. Me and my team design these capsule modules. And we have the concept of this Gyan Ka Guruvar. So on every Guruvar, that is Thursday, we upload this small bite-sized capsule module on VUCA platform and also on WhatsApp to make our learnings more on the go. So they can just refer to these modules and they can just make the learning more effective. And apart from that, it is very tough for our CSAs to go through the entire module. So we just segregate those modules into small bites. So this was the suggestion and feedback from our stakeholders also, because our brand is growing in a very fast speed. Every season we are upgrading our products. Every season we are upgrading our business. We are doing L2L growth and everything. So we want our front-end team to also upgrade on same parameters.
30 seconds.
We all know the importance of grooming in retail and how that boosts our confidence. So this is the session plan that I have designed, and it is a grooming standard, and it's not just restricted to your personal grooming. In this, we'll also talk about the posture, tone, pitch, everything that will boost confidence of a CSA. So this is a glimpse of few employee engagement activities that we have conducted. Most of them are virtual platforms. So in this pandemic time, we also discovered that there are many hidden talents in our organizations. So we used to have this Fab Fridays, in which every Friday evening we used to get talent, and every participant used to come and showcase their talent, from dancing to drawing to painting and everything. And we also have these small activities on every occasion. For example, Independence Day, Republic Day, Diwali, Dussehra. So here are the glimpses of the activities. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Arpita, thank you so much. It's over to our jury.
Geeta, that's a lovely presentation. Thank you so much. I liked your analogy about all L&D professionals being mothers and the trainees as children. How do the mothers take feedback from their children to improve their L&D offerings, or the quality of delivery or content? In
I'll tell
Skechers?
you. So we have also designed this feedback form, and every time after every session we get feedbacks from our business team, because for like I've already told you, like we are like mothers and business is the father. So it is very important to be in proper sync with the business also, and we get time to time feedback from the business team on this and how to upgrade. So obviously, whenever we do our trainings, after the assessments or after interacting with the team, we always get those feedback on which parameters we can upgrade ourselves or we can upgrade our skills.
My experience is, this feedback, when you take feedback, people tell you what you want to hear, or at least a large number of people. how do you ensure that you get the right feedback? Because sometimes you just need one or two elements of feedback more than sufficient.
Okay, so
Have you done any work on this?
So training is something that we can't measure, but it is a slow process, and we see the impact from the business only. So whenever we see any region performing really well, or we see the backstory and we go through the whole graph, then we understand that yes, there was a time when they didn't get that much attention, that much learning attention, but now we have started giving them attention. We have started giving them time to time trainings and modules, and they have that proper hand holding, and then we see the business impact. So somewhere the numbers tells us everything.
Thanks.
Thank you to our jury. Thank you very much, Arpita. We move on to our next learning champ. That's Mohan M of Reliance Digital. Mohan M, Reliance Digital. Mohan, you can see your screen.
Yeah.
Yes, Mohan, go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, juries. Myself, Mohan. I am a technical regional trainer for Southern. Shall I remove or shall I need to wear?
You can remove. You can remove.
Yeah. Because I am not feeling well. I am affected.
No, fine. Don't worry. It will not be transmitted.
Okay. My son is there. That's why.
Okay. If there's someone around you that you need to protect, please keep your mask on. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Myself, Mohan, I am the regional trainer of Reliance Rescue, Southern Reliance Digital in Reliance Digital. So you people, you juries know very well about Reliance Digital. Reliance Digital is a multi-brand retailers, and Rescue is a service arm of Reliance Digital. So my screen. Yes. So before I starting my slides, I want to share my my experience. So one time it was a mid of April, I think. Okay, I went to one of my service center and I met my service manager there who take care of service center. We will discuss about that. Our service center performance. While we discussing, suddenly the service center manager told me that there is a lot of escalation in that consumer electronic calls. So especially I am taking care that for that products. I am the trainer for that products. Okay. So really it's amazed because he told me only in escalation in CE calls. So I have been training people so that last 2.5 years. Okay. I gave my 100% effect on that. Okay, and still there is result was that that escalation is high in consumer electronic calls. So not in other category product like AC, water purifier, or home theater or HA products. Okay, so that I understand that there is some problem. So problem in training or something else. So I did my research on this. Okay, then I found out the problem. There was a major repeat repair complaints due to limited skill manpower and major product quality defect issue. So I just brainstormed about this problem and what could be the resolution can do it. So I created some training models, and I shared feedback to brand about the quality issue of product. Also, I created a technical service bulletins for field awareness. So service bulletins also I circulated to field, and done some cross product trainings for other category engineers also. Sometimes some engineers like HA engineers or AC engineers not do CE installation. So for that engineers also I given special training for that engineers. So this is the main thing I done. So apart from that, that business mainly field, finally that solution came. So reduce that escalation, that market product quality improved, and multi-skill engineers are we trained, and improved customer satisfactions. So this is the summary you are looking. So this is the way we trained. Okay, first we analyze the root cause of products, the defect, and continuously we monitor the defect, and we collected feedback from engineers, and we identified the resolution and shared that problem to brand also, and we designed the program that called multi-skilled engineers training. So we targeted some special category engineers, we trained that engineers, and we shared that resolution to brand. Again, we released service bulletins accordingly what brand again they are acknowledged our defect root cause. Again, we circulated same thing to field. Again, we feedback collected from brand and shared to our field engineers. So this is the business impact you are looking. So escalation data was reduced. So we started this program on April mid. So in that time, there is a COVID time also. So we conducted most of our trainings on virtual trainings, and some trainings we conducted through local engineers. We done in classroom trainings also in limited batches. So keep on our escalations was just down. So month on month. So our feedback score also improved, and our NPS also improved in installation and
30
repair.
seconds.
So this is our appreciations our engineers and our customers and our internal employees shared for my this program, because for multi-skill engineers training now there is a lot of improved in service. So all the way are taken and we implemented throughout Pan India. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohan. Thank you very much for that presentation. We move on to our jury.
So how did you do this root cause analysis of the technical problems? Where did you get this from? You
Sir, we just collected the feedback from engineers because we given the training, but after that also there is some repeated issues. Same issues they're going to repeat. Like if there is in TV, there is in some negative image issue. Once we engineer visit that customer place and resolving that issue, after that also within a week, within a month, there is going some same issue. There is repeating. So based on that issue, we collected the information from engineers. We shared that feedback to brand, and we rectified the issue, and that we resolved that issue. So that issue is not coming right now because
no,
now
is it a knowledge? Is it a product knowledge issue, or is it a technical problem with the product?
Technical problem with product also is there.
Okay.
Because limited skill manpower is also there in my training. So I selectively choose some category engineers. I given CE training also for that engineers, especially for AC engineers, water purifier, RO engineers, or HF engineers. Because some areas have limited manpower, like only few engineers will be there in remote location, but only one engineer need to do all installation calls. So for that time, that engineer will expert on HA or AC, but he is not expert in CE. But CE, we need to give the training, especially for that demonstration training, because installation anybody can do easily. We can install the TV, but in the TV depth, that demonstration is very, very important.
Okay. So what is the? I know you showed the slide. What is the net increase in the customer satisfaction score after that, before and after?
Yes, sir. 1 minute. Yeah. So this is the NPS score for installation. Before I started this program, there is 58% is there for installation. After my this program I started now, this slightly increased to 65%.
Okay.
Julie, any more questions, Julie? Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mohan, for that wonderful presentation. Get well soon and keep your family safe as well.
Thank you.
We
Thank
move on to our next presenter, that is Mubina Sheikh, Reliance Retail Value Format. Mubina Sheikh of Reliance Retail, the Value Format, our next learning champ to present.
Good afternoon, grand jury. Good afternoon, everyone. Is my screen is visible?
Not yet, Mubina.
1 minute, sir. Is my screen is visible now?
Yes, now. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity, sir. Good afternoon, grand jury. A warm welcome to you all. Myself, Mubina, I am part of grocery retail. I'm here to present my L&D journey. As a training manager, my roles and responsibilities are to identify the training requirements, develop and deliver the training programs for new and existing employees, make sure that the employees develop the skill in order to do their jobs effectively, execute the cadre building training programs, internal capability development program, create a talent pool and job readiness programs for all the associates, drive digital learning across the region and organization. Cadre building training program, the aim of this training program is to hire the newly recruited externally managers. We deploy them, all the store managers, assistant store managers and department managers. We deploy them in our fresh and smart stores to build their capability to assimilate the respective role. The duration is 90 days. We have followed the new age blended learning. This involves the classroom training, virtual instructor-led based training, on-the-job training, digital learning, micro learning bites. Till now, we have trained 250 managers in our region. The business impact is all these trained managers are available before 30 days of the store opening. We have ensured zero managerial manpower gap in our stores. Organization has come up with the new business called SmartPoint. The SmartPoint manager training aim is to train and develop newly recruited SmartPoint managers to adopt and newly revolutionary concept and to handle the business. The duration is again 30 days. We have trained 180 managers and 320 associates. The business impact is all these 300 plus managers that are available to handle the stores across the region, readily trained manpower available to run the store operations. They have supported the business to save the cost. The business impact of the store associates, all these store associates are available before 30 days of the store opening to run the store operations smoothly and effectively. We have pipeline available to meet the 250 plus new stores across the region. Internal capability development program. This is one of my favorite programs. We are able to build the internal talent. We have identified the potential employees. We have built their capability. We have certified them by the business. We have deployed them as per the business requirement. We have trained 500 plus managers till today. And the beauty of this program, we were able to save the cost. Average cost of the externally hired manager is 6 lakh rupees, but the internal candidate is just 3 lakh rupees. Thus, we are able to save the 3 lakh rupees per candidate per annum. So all these certified employees get deployed. We were directly able to save 90 crore rupees to the organizations. On top of it, we were able to save the cost of recruitment, consultancy, onboarding, and everything. Externally hired managers will take at least 1 month to understand our business and to be productive. Thus, that 1 month cost, 1 month salary is also saved. Jagrati Pragati, this program is very close to my heart. I always wear these badges of Jagrati and Pragati because I always believe in women leadership. The aim of this program is to increase the women leadership in the store operations, identify the internal potential employees, build their capability for the successive roles, certified them by the business. The duration is again 180 days. We have trained 82 such female managers. All these female managers are productive from the day one. We are providing the equal opportunity for the managerial positions as well, gender equality. All these female managers are the productive from the day one. So external managers will take time to learn our concept, but all these internal employees are productive from the day one. Thus, we are saving a lot of cost to the organization. JioMart pandemic has transformed the way we used to do the business. New e-commerce business was introduced in the form of JioMart. We continued our efforts in helping the business to reskill, adopt the new model. We have trained 52 store managers, 110 assistant store managers, 41 home delivery managers, 41 delivery controllers, 1,000 associates in the GeoMart stores. With the continuous L&D interventions like VILT, OJT, store audits, coaching, we were able to reduce the customer complaints and FTR complaints. With this, we were able to deliver 2.2 lakh orders across in our region.
30 seconds.
Achieve 99.8% of line fulfillment, 99.1% of fully fulfillment. Along with that, we were able to achieve the customer delightness. Field trainer is one of the brilliant concepts organization have come up with. We have identified the internal senior associates and gave them an opportunity to be the trainers to support the business. With this, we were able to reduce the cost in the tier 3, tier 4 towns. We were able to give the efficient and effective training to the humongous requirement of the organization. Functional training helped us to directly interact with the subject matter expert. He was able to address the challenges. We were able to conduct 50 such sessions covering 655 managers, which helped us to give the lot of green stores. Pandemic moved all our way of doing the business, all our doing our training programs. We have moved to digital content. We have started doing the simulations, interactive modules, micro learning bites, and VR modules. This to train and keep our manpower up to date with the standard operating procedure from time to time. This is my journey. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wow, Mubina, really, really a lot of work. Help me understand, are these initiatives brought in by the organization, and which of these initiatives you have brought in? I want to know that.
Jagriti and Pragati is initially we brainstormed it. We have seen a lot of requirement for the leader, for the women employees especially, and one woman can handle house very well. A one woman manager in the store able to put up a lot of SOPs in the place. So we used to have a brainstorming sessions with the organization. So we have shared these thoughts. Organization accepted, and I am taking this Jagriti Pragati concept in Pan India, madam.
So all your stores are women manager stores or also male manager stores?
We have Avani. Avani is the specially women managers. All the employees are women. SM, ASM, DM, everybody is the women. Only one male associate because after 8:30 we can't have a female manager. That's why we had only one part-timer. Otherwise, we have department managers, assistant store managers, we have store managers, we have regional business head as a women in our organization.
So you work in the women part of the organization?
I work everywhere, madam, but I love to
What are the initiatives? What are the initiatives for the male guys that you have done? Because learning and development in an organization needs to be a balance between both.
So we have internal capability development program. We have cadre building program. We don't have any biasness for anyone, but women, we have a little extra interest because the potential is high.
Okay. So why do you think you are suited for this championship award?
Ma'am, I have contributed so much in 1 year, and I born in retail all these 15 years. I worked for different organizations. I born and brought up only in the retail. In fact, all my friends call me retail sister. So I believe in retail. I believe in empowering people, transforming their lives. So I feel that, yes, I am eligible for this award.
Okay. Thank you, Mubina. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to our jury. Thank you to Mubina Sheikh, our retail sister, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Retail sister is, very happy to hear.
We move on to our final presentation in the Learning Champ category, and this will be Srinivas Balaji of Reliance Retail, Fashion and Lifestyle. Srinivas, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. D'Souza. Just give me a minute while I set up the presentation. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible, Srinivas. Go ahead.
Good afternoon to the jury. I'm Srinivas Balaji from Reliance Retail, Fashion and Lifestyle. After spending 7 years into retail operations, I decided to move to L&D function. And Reliance provided me this opportunity to manage 250 stores in Karnataka. I was responsible to ensure employee role readiness and build talent pipeline. While I was looking for ways to add value to business after the first lockdown, which reduced the customer footfall and the dwell time, resulting in revenue shrinkage. But along came the second wave. I decided there is a need to change the game of new normalcy and played a pivotal role right from the pilot's phases. Using the RCA tool of fishbone analysis, I reached to a conclusion that by focusing on improving our customer engagement, we can achieve desired goal to convert maximum customers, resulting in increased sales. I proposed the idea and planned to move from an assisted service to suggestive service to my business head. In the falling revenue, this was a zero-cost initiative. He asked me to test my hypothesis in 4 bottom-performing stores in the region to implement this project. A project chart outlining the pre- and post-launch activities like training manpower, data capture, tracking, and performance review was designed. The first step to build the CSA's capability was higher expectation of moving from current approach to the new approach. I worked on transforming their overall personality and helped them open up to express themselves more confidently. I wanted each CSA to host a customer rather than just attending. To build their capabilities of frontliners, I adopted the practice of daily learning at stores and conducted change management sessions. With all operations team to embrace the host approach, effectiveness measurement was established at all 4 levels of Kirkpatrick model. I also devised a process to capture new lead indicators to overcome hourly progress tracking issues. I guided store managers to manually data tracking, and I used to analyze the same post-store closures. These daily reports were discussed with state head as early as 6 a.m. to guide the expectation stores before their opening. RASI matrix was established with all the stakeholders to define individual roles and responsibilities. This enabled me to drive the project and necessary resources and create stakeholder involvement. Our rigor in implementation of host approach started showing results in the form of improvement in store KPIs. This earned us the confidence of operations team, resulting in implementation of the project in other stores in phased manner. This is how I redefined the customer journey by giving timelines and responsibilities to CSAs while hosting each customer. These are some of the images of our stores where host approach was implemented on suggesting the look through in-store learnings. At a staggering 65% of CSAs being used as hosts across 71 stores, host contributed 40% additional revenue at 142 crores. The difference was visible. Host ATS was at around 3,078 rupees, while store ATS was at 2,500. Business counted impact of macro and micro factors such as incentives and promos at 50% of ATS, what we've achieved. The total revenue contributed was discounted at 50%. Even then, business credited host approach for a generating additional revenue of 71 crores. Jury, coming from an operations background, this initiative gave me an opportunity to amalgamate both between operations and L&D. Transition from being a trainer to a performance enabler was the most vital part for me, where my career evolved from being at an execution level to planning and designing. To be a partner in business decisions with operations team rather than just being a support function was a major contribution for me, which I could make it for our L&D team. My efforts in implementation of these projects got recognized and rewarded and earned me a chair at decision table at every business meetings. Lastly, L&D team was looked after as a cost incurring function, moved on to cost saving function, but I'm happy to say that this approach and this journey has ensured that L&D has earned more revenue by its training effectiveness. Thank you so much to the jury.
Thank you very much, Srinivas, and over to our jury.
That was a great presentation, Srinivas.
Thank you so much, sir.
I can see that you're very passionate. You're a passionate operations guy, and I just asking a simple question. What is it that you do? I mean, I know you aspire to be a great L&D professional. What is it that you do to be there?
Sir,
Firstly, I mean, what do you do?
Over there, I started my journey right after my education from working from Bose, moved to Raymond, from there moved to Benetton, again moved to Raymond. Then I got an opportunity here to work as an L&D. I always had this point that I wanted to give something back to the CSAs. While being at an operations level, I could only resolve a situational based need, but I could not create a process working at an operations level. Of course, I had to learn the process in terms of, again, imparting knowledge or how to amalgamate both of these things. Because frankly speaking, when I was working as an operations guy over there, I know how I used to look up to L&D in terms of, again, when they used to train the operations team on my team. But this was something, history repeated itself, that now I am in this position, which I'm happy for. Because I could understand while I'm training someone, whether they're getting bored or is it impacting the business, or it's just that you put the call on the mute, put the loudspeaker and just listen to what the trainer is saying and you do your work. So I could sense that over there coming from operations background, while my own staffs used to do it previously in the organization. And frankly speaking, no offense, of course, these guys are kids, 22, 23-year-old, and they want to earn money, more incentives. But my point here is, how can you do more? How can you earn more money from customers? So this was more important for me. And the journey of around 1.5 years is what it gave me an education for myself, that how to merge both of them.
Excellent. So you learn more when you teach.
That is an absolute word where I experienced this over the past 2 years over there in that case. And yes, I salute that statement and I'll take that forward as well.
Thank you.
Where do you see yourself, Shinny, 10 years from now?
Ma'am, frankly speaking, I want to create a new customer approach to all this customers who come to the stores. I want to capture those window shoppers. Prospective buyers are always the buyers over there. We can improve their ATS. The dwell time in attending a customer has to go up. Now, if I always tell, when you make someone wear a blazer, making them wear a blazer, pulling the lapel and just tapping the shoulder can take you miles with the customer. That's how it takes. This is the kind of process where I want to set it up. Now, last point I want to mention, it was difficult for a larger organization for us, where we have around 10,000 square feet stores. Moving from assistive selling to a suggestive selling happens only in a niche market or a company, premium company. But while we had around 15 to 20 CSAs, imparting knowledge was a tough time. It took time. It didn't happen over time. It took around 8 to 9 months time. Hence, the results from the June 21 to November 21 was a staggering number, which we gave. Of course, our founder says that every crisis is an opportunity on its own. And this was something which I could capitalize over there in that case.
So, just one question. Which is the period you measured? Which is the base year and which is the sales? You said 142 crores increase in business, which is compared to what year or what period?
Sir, during the year, by October to December over there, we've realized that there is a huge drop in footfall and revenue. The major contribution was the conversion had got down in the end of 2020. Then when we came down to 21 in the month of Jan-Feb, we wanted to analyze, is it because of conversion or because we are having a less footfall? What is it? That is how, as I mentioned to ma'am over there in that case, the dwell time decreased because of the new guidelines where the local bodies had.
My question is clear. What was the period you measured that 142 crores increase in revenue?
Okay. From June 2020 to November 2020 against the projected numbers of June 2021 to November 2021.
But June 20 and November 20 is a very lean period for all the retailers, because that was the peak of pandemic, and that's a very lowest of sales during that time.
Correct. So point was, when we came up to the theory from 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021, we've understood that the decrease in dwell time, that is what happened. The dwell time did not increase the way the staff had to attend at a 6 feet distance over there.
Question: how did it compare with 19?
The footfall decreased by 33%.
No. You said 71 crores, right? How is it compared to 140 whatever crores that you discounted to 71, right? Now, if you take that number against 19, what is it?
I'm just projecting the screen so that I could show you this number. Can you see my screen here, sir?
Yeah.
So the column here indicated without host sale is if we did not conduct the host approach or train the CSAs during this period of time from June to November over there, this was the projection. 218 crores is where we would have landed up. With the kind of ATS which we had at a store level, this is how we would have ended it up. Because we had the host approach where 65% of the staff where we trained hand-hold them, because we couldn't take all the CSAs, because someone had to keep the store upkeep, maintain the hygiene of the stores. Hence, additionally, if you can see, 142 crores were earned additionally. So altogether, both put together, 361 crores was earned, out of which 142 crores came from direct impact of these CSAs. But of course, again, I would not like to take away this. Promos and incentives were an additional cost given by the operations to support this function. Even then, reducing this particular additional revenue which was earned, so 71 crores was still a staggering number for us to kickstart this campaign from. Hello?
Sure, okay, thanks.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much to our final participant, Srinivas Balaji.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's been a high voltage, high energy 2 hours that we've spent here at the Retail L&D Awards, the final presentations. Thank you to all our teams, our 5 teams and our 4 learning champs. There's been loads of talent, lots of enthusiasm, great initiative, and of course, amazing passion. And I think it's been a learning experience for everybody who's been in on this. We'd like to thank our jury, Ophelia De Rose, Lancelot Kutina, Mr. B.V.M. Rao, R. Raj Narayan, and Dr. Laurence Fernandez. Thank you very much to our jury. Thank you to all our teams. Teams, please note that in jury and the teams, please note, we shall be declaring the results and presenting the awards at around 5:30 p.m. this evening during our conference. So we will send each of you a link. Please do join in on that link. Participants and jury, you are also invited to join us as we declare the results and present the awards. So we'll send you a separate link for that. Delegates who have joined in to get a feel of the energy and passion of youth and our learning and development teams at this awards, please note we take a break now and we can come back at 2 p.m. Log in again at 2 p.m. on the same link for our conference session. Okay, winners, please note that you'll be getting e-certificates and gift vouchers from Shoppers Stop. Okay, so keep your fingers crossed. Congratulations to every one of the teams. Thank you to our jury. Thank you to our audience who's logged in. We'll see the audience back at 2 p.m. and we'll see our jury and participants back at around 5:15 p.m. because at 5:30 we will know who the winners are. Of course, every one of these 9 who have presented are winners. Someone, of course, will walk away with a trophy and get some vouchers. They are really the first among equals because everybody's been absolutely fabulous. From the Retail L&D Awards 2022, good afternoon, God bless, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, jury. Thank you.